Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 25th. It's March. It's 2026. 6:30 at night. It's going to be dark in a half an hour. I am in the land between the lakes in Kentucky. And this video is going to be a little different. It's still going to be the same commentary, but the entire time I'm talking, I'm riding my bike. Because I want you to be able to see what I'm seeing. Okay? Because not many people get to be out here in Bigfoot country on a mountain bike. And I think you'll find it very entertaining, but I do cover all the bases, all the things that are going on the earth right this minute. So some of it sucks, some of it's legit, but it's all important. Or it isn't, I don't know. But here we go. My rear shock was completely empty. There was no air in it, no oil, no nothing. I didn't even notice that. I kept wondering why my pedals were hitting every tree stump and rock I went by in Louisiana. And I figured that out. The bike has a harsh life, you know. You really got to maintain it, or bad things happen. I mean, it sits in the back of my truck. Goes from low altitude to high altitude. Temperature, you know. But my cross-country activities are pretty well over with.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you.
You bet. I haven't been here in a bit, few months maybe. I think since like November maybe, I'm not sure. But it's one of my favorite spots. When I go up to see my buddy Miguel and his wife, J-Lo, I always stop here on the way up. But seeing how things are escalating, nobody understands why Trump is changing his mind every few minutes. Well, they're doing massive insider trading, and they're doing it off the death of innocent Americans, innocent Iranians, innocent everybody's. I don't want to say Israelis because I don't know, they're pretty disgusting, evil people. I mean, they're trying to bring about the Antichrist. That's all you gotta know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy that this is real. It's crazy how few people care. You know? People are still focusing on other things that don't matter. Come on, girl. You got it? You got it. Whew, that was steep. And now I know there are people out here. Gotta act accordingly. Well, that's a weird smell. Must have been the creosote on that bridge. The black stuff they soak the wood in, like railroad ties, keep them from corroding, etc. Maybe that's what it was. Or if you mention Israel, maybe it rouses the devil. You know? We're in such crazy times that I literally have watched Leave the World Behind again for like the 7th time, and Constantine, you know, with Keanu Reeves. Spear of Destiny. They have the Spear of Destiny. There's no two ways about it. You know they've got it. Whoever controls the Spear of Destiny controls the world, is what they think. Because it has Jesus' blood on it. So that's crazy to even think of. It's crazy. When you do the math, it turns out we are the generation. And you can tell that by looking at early 1800s maps. It explains creation, explains when Jesus arrived, when Jesus left, everything in between. And we are the generation, which is crazy. I think I started making YouTube videos when I was about 41. And almost 59. And in that time period, I never really thought for real they were going to be able to do what they're doing. But I'll tell you what, they have admitted by proxy that they're all pedophiles. And all the missing children, yeah, it's not an accident. It's not some crazy guy in a van. It's the elites. They use children like they use condoms. It's just a horrible thing to say, but it's very, very true. I always said this, and I've said this for a long time, well over a decade, that if we lost the hundreds of thousands of children that are reported missing every year in the United States, it's thousands and thousands in every state on its own, I would find one once in a while. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the odds. You would find one. I've been on every trail in this country, every desert, every mountaintop, every crazy, strange, Bigfoot riddled forest I've been in. And that's why when I'm doing this, not only am I talking to myself, but whatever, I record just in case. Not just one camera, but two. You guys don't see them. Terabytes worth of mountain bike trailers that I have, because nobody would watch it, nobody cares. But my point being is, if children went missing because of just bad American people here and there, you know, like your rapists and such, you'd find the bodies. There's just too many humans that go missing every year in our country. The body's got to be someplace, unless they're being farmed, professionally stolen. You report your child missing and the police basically don't help you. I mean, think about it. Freemasons, Opus Dei, Club of Rome, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization. World Health Organization is run by a guy that calls himself a doctor, but isn't. And nobody cares. Some guy claiming to be a doctor. It's just like the Professor Wang. Professor Jiang isn't a professor whatsoever at all. He's a dude who got my interest because YouTube recommended him. When does YouTube ever recommend somebody that is literally talking about Israel, conspiracy theorists, etc.? You know what I mean? When I first ran him about 9 months ago on my channel, I said, I don't understand this dude. He's, you know, he's a Chinese national living in Canada, claiming to be a professor, and yet he's talking about everything I've ever talked about. And now he's on Tucker Carlson, the Kabbalist CIA asset. Yes, Tucker went on CIA outings with his father. Tucker is CIA. They kick him off television so that he can just explode on YouTube, and that's how they do it. They've been doing it for years. They send Hollywood people our way. What's his name? Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, Dr. Madej, Dr. What's his name? Dr. Kaufman. I never even got it. I was just so happy to have an ally that actually claimed he had a medical license or a PhD, you know? But he was a phony. But my point being is the internet is flooded with people talking about the same stuff I am, except they don't talk about everything, you know what I mean? 80%. And that's enough to Alex Jones you. Keep you pushing in the wrong direction. Those damn globalists, we're gonna have to really vote harder next time. Yeah, this just in. Voting isn't real. And you know how you know that? Because people go out and vote, or whatever it is they do. And then the television, the news people, currently owned almost exclusively by Israel, tells you who won. This is NBC News, and we just discovered Donald Trump won. It's amazing, folks. Nobody can believe it. But everybody does. And everybody just keeps on pushing. Guess what? There ain't no more voting. Trump is the last president. That book didn't show up on the internet by itself. That book was placed there for us to find, and we found it. You know what I mean? Elon Musk is worth $842 billion according to Forbes. $842 billion. That's almost $1 trillion. Larry Ellison's worth 129. So how did Larry Ellison become the richest man in the world one day, but now the gulf is ever expanding? Because these assholes are doing inside baseball. When the stock market depends on things the president does, well, the president, his son, his son-in-law, they all make announcements. The market responds. They all make money, and then they completely reverse the situation. You dig? Does that make sense? I mean, it's blatant. The whole world knows about it. And yet, just keeps on keeping on. Because nobody wants to step up to the plate. Nobody wants to get hurt. Everybody wants peace and security. Woe to those that harm the children. Better a millstone was hung around their neck and they were thrown to the bottom of the sea. Better yet, they had never been born. Yeah. Because I was raised so poorly, beaten and brutalized so badly by my parents, I got married, but I refused to have a child. Because even when I was married, I worked, I drank, snowmobiles, dirt bikes, motorcycles, the whole nine. But your marriage doesn't stay together when everyone keeps asking, when are you gonna have a baby? And I can't have a baby because I am afraid. I'm afraid that I would do something terrible to it. Meaning, if it made too much noise, I would snap it. I don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? And now at almost 59 years old, I completely regret it. It's really sad. It's really, really, really sad. But it is what it is. My other concern always was that if we had a baby, something would be wrong with it. And after I got divorced, while I was incarcerated, my wife went and did her thing, had a baby, and that baby is to this day still in a wheelchair. Umbilical cord around the neck type deal. So it's kind of strange that that was my biggest concern. And that is exactly what did happen. So, whatever. It just bums me out. Somebody the other day was trying to rationalize to me why getting divorced is okay. God doesn't mind that. No, there's lots of ways to get around. My biggest regret is getting married and getting divorced. If I had known how big of a deal being married was in the eyes of God Almighty, which I never did till after the fact, I wouldn't have got divorced. See what I'm saying? This is an awesome mountain bike trail, by the way, isn't it? It's Kentucky. I am way out in the woods, nobody around. You might see another mountain biker, but chances are you won't. I have many, many, many different lights. A very, very large light right here, and two on my helmet. This is Bigfoot country all day long. Bigfoot is just one of many things that we don't understand. You know, we're the only country in the world that takes religion as a joke. You know what I mean? We're always at war with people that actually believe in God. Whether they believe in Jesus Christ, you know, the only ones that don't believe in Jesus at all are Israelis. The other ones believe in Allah, Muhammad, you know, Ganesh, things of that nature. I think those are all actually gods. Lowercase g gods, but gods nonetheless. There's a reason why our religion is attacked so bad. You know, people think that Catholicism and Christianity are one and the same, and they are not. I go to church if I can actually find one that isn't a C3PO charity thing, whatever it is. I found a couple here and there, but they're few and far between, you know. Catholicism says, go talk to the Pope, for he is the vicar of Christ. Yeah. Read that King James a few times. Gone through the Old Testament a few times. Book of Jasher, Book of Enoch. Read a lot of different religious books, and nowhere does God say, hey, I'm out. I'll be back later, okay? Everyone will see me. I'll return with a shout. All eyes will see. But until then, here's my boy right here. He's the vicar. Talk to him. All right, stand by. All right, here we go. Had a funny noise in the back, probably a leaf. But when you're this far away, it's good to know, because it will be dark. Well, it won't be dark for 2 hours. Plenty of time for a young buck like me to make my way back. Ooh, come on, girl. We live in some crazy times. Craziest thing is all the life that is being lost. I met up with American-Mexican gunslinger yesterday, him and his wife and his 2 kids, and I love those guys, you know, I do. I'm fond of them, I can say that. Met up with them about a half dozen, maybe 8 times, maybe more, I don't know. And when I look at him and his family, I think about those Iranians that were just trying to live their lives, and our military, from our government, all the government people that are they every time you talk to them, every time they're in front of a camera, Israel, all we care about is, hey, assholes, you're an American politician. Why are you talking about another country and another country only? Why is it we're secondary? Well, we're not secondary. We're the cannon fodder. When I look at American Mexican gunslinger and his family, I think to myself, imagine I'm standing here talking to these guys, husband, wife, boy, and a girl, and all of a sudden a 7,000 pound, a bomb that weighs 7,000, it weighs as much as my truck, but the entire thing is built to be as incredibly deadly and explosive as humanly possible, just drops out of the sky and kills them because our president is mad at their Ayatollah. You know, it makes no sense. But in America, nobody cares about that. All they care about is gas is going up. Oh, gas is going to go up. Oh, going to be you know, they just literally inserted a mandatory draft into the National Defense Authorization Act. A mandatory draft. 18 to 24, unless you're an alien, of course. If you're here illegally, yeah, you don't have to go to war. Back in the old days, that's how you became an American. Put your ass on the line for that flag, and we'll punch you in there, boss. You're good to go. But not no more. And all everybody's worried about is gas is gonna go up. Gas is gonna go up because of a war in Iran, but yet we're the biggest producer of oil on earth, according to our president. You know, Bush, his family, and the Israelis did 9/11 because the Bush family got billions of dollars they stole from the falling USSR. Operation Hammer. And all the money they stole, all the bearer bonds, all the certificates were going to expire unless they cashed them. And because they were stolen from Russia, they couldn't cash them because Wall Street would catch on. The only way they could get around it is if somehow Wall Street closed for the day. And wouldn't you know it, not only did Wall Street close for the day, allowing the Bush family and all their pals to get all the money they stole from Russia, all the gold that was underneath the World Trade Center being held by the Treasury for every other country disappeared. It all disappeared. Well, Richie, the buildings collapsed and they were on fire and jet fuel. Okay. Problem with that is FEMA was going in there to take pictures because it's their job. And one FEMA photographer found the vaults, and the vaults were undamaged and wide open. And wouldn't you know it, they were completely empty. And him being an American and a federal agent said, "Hey, everybody, look at this." Wouldn't you know it, he became a fugitive because he killed his wife. So everything that he said was, don't listen to that guy, killed his wife. You know what I'm saying? These guys are doing that right now. They're profiting off the oil because they own it. They're profiting off the missiles because they own them. The president wants a $1.5 trillion defense budget. $1.5 trillion. And yet, today, Iran shot down an F-18. Last week, Iran shot down an F-35, a $109 million jet. In Iran, after they were completely demolished by our military. We took out their Navy, we took out their air defense, we took out their Air Force. They couldn't do anything. But gosh darn it, they took out an F-35, which is impossible. And then today they took out an F-18, which is no joke. F-15s. 13 soldiers are dead so far. 130 or 190 are wounded. Some still critical. And troops are on their way. Troops are on their way. the last president, ladies and gentlemen. And for those that can't do what I'm doing right now, I'm doing this for you. So enjoy this video. Or don't. It's your call. I'm gonna try to go live with Fire Medic 8. He's a small YouTuber, but he does intensive training, studying, and analysis of chemtrails and what's in it. And I've used some of his footage a couple of times here and there over the years. I don't know how long he's been around, but whatever. I'm gonna have him on a live stream, I hope. And I'm also gonna get the simulated Leviathan back on, because he's fun to talk to. He's fun to talk to, and he's really close to being completely awake. He says he believes in Jesus, but he doesn't believe in hell. Well, those are the people that we need to learn sooner than later. Because I believe in hell. I know there's a hell. This isn't it, guys. Sorry to tell you, but see where I am right now? This is Earth, same Earth you're on, and this ain't hell. This used to be amazing. This is still incredible, but it ain't amazing. Because all these dead trees, barium, strontium, aluminum, all day, every day, daily, causes the trees to die. It gives them cancer. I showed you the trees in Massachusetts. They look healthy, and then they snap off about 8 feet tall because the inside is all rotted. Trees breathe in the air. That's how it works. So, last president, I'm guessing I've got a year or two left alive. And I'm gonna keep doing this till I can't do it no more. You know what I was gonna say, but I'm not gonna say that anymore. My old saying actually happened, and I'm still going. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to certain things. And dude, guys, all I got is you people. That's it. And that's why I go and meet you. If I haven't met you yet, well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'll be in Kentucky. And 3 days later, I'll get an email. Richie, I'm in Kentucky. And it's like, yeah, I'm not. I was in Kentucky. No, I'm not. You know? When I'm driving all day, I have to stop every 2 hours to put gas in my truck. Because she's heavy. She's a beast. And I didn't think I'd still be here. And yet here I am. So I'm going to keep telling you guys everything I can. And I got to tell you, I've said some pretty crazy things. And now, those crazy things are just current events. These people told you they were pedophiles and then started a war that will affect everybody on Earth. Before they did that, they told you they were pedophiles. The Trump Files, featuring Jeffrey Epstein. Those Epstein files would make sure everybody shut up and did this war. Because believe it or not, they didn't have to release the Epstein files. They didn't have to do anything. Nobody would have known. A bunch of us fringe conspiracy theorists knew about that. Nobody cared. Till they decided it was time they were going to need it. We're going to war because Iran's going to attack us. What are you talking about? You're going to vote against it? Yes, Mr. Trump. Okay. Hey, aren't you in the Epstein files? What do you want me to do? Exactly. Shut up and vote the way I tell you to. We need $1.5 trillion for national defense. 1.5 trillion. Never before seen. Never heard of. This is what a dying empire looks like. Why not make it 1 point? Make it for $30 trillion. Who cares? What's the difference? You're never gonna pay it back anyway. See what I'm saying? Oh, whew. Steep climb. Come on, girl. Go, 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 go. Got it. These tree roots will kick your butt. Okay. Let's take a small break, shall we? Thank you. Come again. Tweet, tweet, twerple, twerple, twerp, tweet. Thank you. Come again. Richie, you're racist. Well, I'm as racist as the next guy. I'm as racist as a black guy. I'm as racist as an Indian guy, a Hindu guy, a Muslim guy. But I get along with everybody as long as they're not an asshole. I don't like assholes. But the one people I don't get along with, and I can't fake it, are gays, okay? Gays are broken. One man putting his penis into another man's rectum is disgusting and depraved, and those type of people are the type of people that will go after children. They'll adopt children, and those adoptions will be granted, and lo and behold, when you're raised by two dads, guess what you turn into? If they don't, you know, molest you first, it just isn't fair. God made it rain fire. It rained fire, and we can prove it. And then he flooded the world. Well, it's not going to just rain fire, it's going to be fire. And I think they've got some weapons that can do that. Tokamaks, Eider, which is 50 miles as the crow flies, directly south of CERN. Eider, just drove by the trail because I'm an idiot. Eider is incredibly unstable. But I mean, when you're trying to recreate a star on Earth, well, if it goes wrong, it would be something like we've never seen before. Or maybe we have. Everybody that wants to pretend that we're in Satan's little season. No, actually, we're not. And if you read the old Bibles, you can see the timeline. And Satan's little season ain't in it, homie. You know what I mean? Jesus has not returned as of yet. Which is why all these men, these mighty men, are scrambling right now. It's why everything has sped up exponentially since 2025. You know what I mean? Since 2001, things changed, but since 2025, things have just been, I mean, it's been non-stop, never-ending. Non-stop. They're getting ready. And I mean, if they're getting ready, then they're ready. If they're ready to do a mass deception, grand delusion, even the very elect will be deceived. Think about that. Even the very elect. Why is my truck alarm going off? Gilligan's Island, look. Gilligan's Island. Yuck, the skipper too. Skeedle-deedle-deet, a millionaire. Oh, that's how I crash. Going up an incline, I hit a tree root and I tip over. It happens. My balance ain't what it used to be. Gilligan, yuck, yuck, yuck. The skipper too, deedle deedle deed deed. The millionaire and his wife. The movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's. That's when television was nice. I Dream of Jeannie, Leave It to Beaver. Now you got governors twerking, and everybody that runs the government is in the Epstein files. I mean, I've had a lot of sex in this lifetime. I've been with a lot of women, but nothing would ever get me into the Epstein files. And I'm talking using hard drugs, you know, we got down, but not anything even somewhat similar in any way whatsoever at all. The government used to lie convincingly, and they were living off that lie because they knew there was enough of our parents still alive, people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, that still believe we went to the moon. We heard it on the radio. Did you? Heard it on the radio. Now they've just got newer versions of me. You Call for an Uprising in Nicholson 1968. But they just tell you 80%. They get really deep, but they're just not hitting on all cylinders, you know? They don't know biblical cosmology. They don't know the real time frame. They don't understand. They still argue the left-right paradigm. I mean, it should be flagrantly, blatantly, painfully obvious right now that voting isn't real. Donald Trump won. Who the hell was Kamala Harris? Never even heard of her. Never even heard of her. Some drunk black lady or Indian lady, whatever she was. The fact that we voted for Donald Trump and people are like, he's one of us. He's a billion. I couldn't yell it loud enough and high enough that Trump is a billionaire. Not once, but twice in one lifetime. And his money comes from Israel. And those videos I made are still available. You can still see them. I never once ever bought it, not even a little. Everybody else is playing sports and drinking games, and grown men spend all their time playing video games. I get it. I get it. I didn't realize how immersive video games are. It's amazing. You can dial up your PlayStation or your Xbox and play with somebody on the other side of the world live, like you're really fighting a war or whatever, you know? It's amazing. But dude, this is a fact. My ex-wife can attest to this. I had the PlayStation 2 years ago. And I threw it away. Because I noticed, I'm like, dude, I sat down to play a game and 8 hours has gone by. You know, I need to be making money, not playing video games. Was I awake? No, not at all. But I did realize that, you know, snowmobiles and Mustang Cobras and drug habits and rent and mortgage and bills, food didn't pay for themselves. But video games are insidious. Little kid video games like Roblox is loaded with predators that literally can hook up with your child in real life. And when people like me in the Roblox community started setting up these predators and catching them, Roblox sued them, tried to get them in trouble. I just heard something big and crunchy. Yeah, the world protects pedophiles because pedophiles are everywhere. Everywhere. You want to be in office? You got to join a sorority. You got to join a secret society. You got to join this, and then that starts right there and then. Not every Freemason's a bad person at all. But once you're in, if they realize that you have influence, family wealth, your father's a senator, you know, like if there's something they can use, they will groom you. They'll keep you going. They'll make you into a rock star as long as you help the game. You know, look at our national debt, 39 trillion on paper. So the real national debt by now is probably about 160 trillion. Completely unpayable. There isn't enough things on earth worth that much money. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But if you took all the new billionaires in the last 20 years or since 2001 and took all their money away, that would solve our national debt. That's pretty easy math, you know what I mean? Where'd all the money go? Who do we owe it all to? We don't owe it to anybody. They've just been stealing it. They're writing checks as a government official or whatever, and then calling it national debt. We spent $109 million on an airplane that Iran can shoot down. Iran's military was not touted as, you know, ooh, don't mess with Iran. Wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Naval superiority, air superiority, we got all that on them. Or do we? I told everybody the minute this war started, I said China is backing Iran. China has been delivering serious weapons. Whatever we have, China has. What takes us a year to make, China makes it in 30 days. Because they're all about country. They're all Chinamen. You see what I mean? There's no racism in China because everyone's Chinese. I know I look white, but inside I feel Chinese. See, I'm transgender. I'm transracial. I know I look like a white man, but inside I feel like a Chinese man. No offense to anybody Chinese, but I think that's funny. And every dude I've ever met, racial jokes are funny. They're funny. That's why we say them. That's why they exist. It's a joke. It builds character. Nobody's got character anymore. All these truthers that are all over YouTube, you know, all these guys that are all doing the same formula. Every video has the exact same title. That's how you get the algorithm, I guess. And they're just taking videos and videos and videos off of Twitter, other people's content, and they're commenting on it. But they fancy themselves awake. Well, here's the thing. You ain't telling the truth if you're hiding your face. Okay? Just period. There is no hiding. Nobody's anonymous. Anyone that's not showing their face, the only person they're hiding from are their subscribers. And if that hurts people's feelings, well, whatever. SWAT my house again. We're ready for it. You know what I mean? Do it again. It's happened before. Do it again. We're ready. No problem. Thing called a trap. So whatever. I encourage everybody that really knows what's going on, that really understands the hour that we find ourselves in, to stand up, show yourselves, and lead your people, man. If you build up a massive audience, lead your people. Make a plan. Meet up with them. Go, 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 go. Meet up with them. Show them how to do first aid. You know what I mean? Show them how to install solar panels. Show them how to purify water. Show them how to clean weapons. Why do I say those things? Because those are things I've been doing for the last 12 years. And dudes, I'm getting old and I'm still doing it. FYI, while we were way out in the woods, my truck alarm went off. I don't like that. I have a backpack because everything in my backpack is everything serious that I can't lose. But inside, I'm Chinese. Ooh. Land between the lakes.